Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. How you're doing? I don't know when I'm dropping the video, but this should be a couple weeks after I dropped the very first video with Teni. I'm sure you've seen on my YouTube. If you've not, please scroll back and watch the video I had with her. It was like a get to know me video, or what she knew knows about me.
Right.
And so now you're in this video. And don't just watch that video alone, watch other videos too, please. Thank you. So today we'll be talking about Teniola's Christian faith. I'll be asking a couple questions.
Okay.
And she's just gonna be talking about being a Christian as a young girl, because this day and age is very difficult to find a fervent youth in this generation. The challenges, the peer pressure, social media, and everything is just it takes people away from the love of God. But finding the true believers among the youths is very difficult. But there's one person sitting down here, which is Teniola. So hi Teni. How you doing?
I'm good, sis.
All right. So, do you care to share your faith journey with us today?
Sure. Do you have any questions in mind, or?
I would just the first question will be like, how did you meet the Lord?
Oh wow. Okay, so for me, one thing I'll always say is I grew up in a Christian home.
Okay.
So it wasn't like when I became a Christian, it was something that was strange and new to me. I'd always known about God. I'd always been a Christian. I'd always been a believer in the Word of God. But I remember vividly that when I actually became intentional about getting to know God, and it wasn't like, okay, just because my parents are saying this is the way to go, I have to do it, was when I was 15.
Okay.
I was in my senior year of high school.
Right.
And that was when I actually was like, you know what, like I want to know God now for myself, and not just because my parents are asking me to do this, or not just because my parents do this.
Yeah.
So 15, I would say, was when I became very intentional with getting,
Yeah, funny you would say that, because it's just the same way with me. I grew up in a Christian family, in a Christian home, and I always think that just saying God forgive me is just the way to salvation. It's not like I knew it, but I wasn't like intentional about serving God.
Right.
And I would probably say that Teni is part of my faith journey amongst one other of my friend, and God himself too, and my church now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you are. So don't let it swell. But yeah, so that I think most Christian kids that grew up in Christian home, we have that. It's rare for you to find the ones that really gives their life to Christ from like real childhood. And I admire those people so much, when it's like they really give their lives to Christ from 7 years old, and they walk through, like they grew up with it.
Right.
But we meet the Lord at any age, any time in our life. And yeah, I love that. Thank you for sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
So, you moved to the United States, I think about 5+ years ago, or thereabout.
Yeah, I moved 5 years ago.
Do you want to like talk briefly about your move down here? Yeah. And how, so in it, you're gonna just bring in how your Christian faith challenge? How was it also challenged?
Oh yeah, definitely. I would say that because so like I said, I gave my life to Christ 15. I was back home in Nigeria then, and then I came here. And I think the first thing for me was when I first came, I didn't find a good church.
Okay, yeah.
So I know I know, like, okay, as a Christian, even if I didn't find a good church, I was supposed to, I know God for myself and still worship Him. And I tried, but I think that was difficult because, like, I wanted a church.
Right.
And me not having that kind of made me frustrated in a way, And so, yeah, that kind of made me struggle a bit.
Yeah,
and then I remember when I first, found a church, when I found a new church, that kind of made me pick up again.
Yeah,
but then another time again, when I was
the struggle is,
I would definitely say I've had my ups and downs, but it's not like my downs were like downs where I was like I don't totally
off.
It was like
track.
Yeah, like I was like, okay, I know God, you're there, but still give me that freedom. It's like, especially because like I was a 17-year-old girl that found this new freedom.
Yeah, that would bring me to my next question about peer pressure. How did you cope with peer pressure?
Honestly, like I wouldn't say I am one kind of person that I didn't get affected by peer pressure, because I did, and to be honest, I knew what I was doing was wrong. But at the same time, I wanted to be loved. I wanted to have friends.
Right.
And so I thought the only way I could have friends was if I drank with them and if I did what they were doing. But it's just like, I thank God for the Holy Spirit, because even though I was doing those things, there was always this voice whispering to me, like reminding me that you don't belong there. You don't belong. What you're doing, is wrong.
Yeah.
That's not really who you are.
Yes.
And so I didn't go low for a long time before I was like, okay, you know what, all this is not even for me. I don't want to do this. And then I came back to gym, like, Jesus, take me back where I am. I have come back. Just forgive me for what I was doing. I know I was wrong. I mean, doing all those things, I was still going to church. I was still going to church. I was still reading my Bible.
Yeah. Guys, in church, that's where you find the most,
like I was still,
like all of us, we have that time when we're
right. But it was like that time where you go to church and it's just like,
we are just there in church for pastor, can you just hurry up, let's go.
You go to church, let me just go so that this man will not call me. Let me just go so that this man will not start calling me.
I did that when I was in school, when I was in university. It was like that. I was like trying to go to church so that pastor will not call me. And then it causes hypocrisy, which is what you're trying to avoid as Christians.
Right, for sure, 100%. And so so I definitely had my fair share of like. But at the end of the day, I would say, I thank God for God, because God knows that I was His child, and He never allowed me to go too far. Like, He gave me His hand was not too far. Like,
thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
His grace and His mercy found me at all times. And
Okay. So I want this video to be very brief. So I'm just gonna ask her the last question. Now, how would you advise a Christian, a Gen Z, right?
I'm a Gen Z.
Yeah, a proud Gen Z, because she's very proud
Gen Z.
Yeah. So how would you encourage how would you advise a Gen Z to like still remain in the faith, and how to like avoid, just give
honestly, even right now, I still feel like I'm still being a Christian is a daily work. And right now I'm not going to come and say I'm a perfect Christian and I know it all, and it's still something. But I think the first step is actually knowing Christ for yourself. I think that's the first thing. Like, you actually getting to know Him for yourself, because when you seek Him, the more you seek Him, the more you get to know Him.
All right.
So when you actually intentionally seek God, then you start getting to know how mighty He is, how wonderful He is, how sufficient His grace and mercy is.
A quick one. How do you seek God?
So for me personally, worship music.
Okay.
Good. I've always find God in worship music.
Okay.
And I know this may seem very strange, but I feel like I hear from God a lot in the bathroom.
So, no, I mean, it's not straight. Most people, like, that's where they get idea, inspiration.
Yeah.
And so if you're finding God in there,
like, so many times I'm just like, I want to go take a shower, and I put on some Christian music, some worship music especially, and I'm just in the bathroom, and it's just like I just get transferred into another realm, and then it's just I feel I feel like, okay, I'm in his presence, you know.
Yeah.
And like, as that water is pouring on me, I'm actually
like,
not feeling like I'm on
yes.
earth. I feel like I'm in his presence. So that's for me personally.
Yeah.
I see God through worship music. I mean, reading the Bible is also quite important.
Cool. Yeah.
Going to church is quite important.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying
fellowship
for
with the
me,
brethren.
I'm just saying for me personally, worship music is what does it for me.
You just need to find a rhythm in your life. Find God. See, there's one thing I'm gonna say, because I wanted you to say Bible, but since worship is your perfect place, good, because reading the Bible, most of us just depend on going to church and then listening to what the pastor says. And when I got to understand that not just the verse the pastor say and preaches about is the main message, you have to go to the beginning or read down to the end for you to understand. And it's also that way I hear from God, not just reading the Bible alone, but from reading books and listening to some messages and all. You hear God, because God won't just speak to you like, Victoria, go sit down. Victoria, go preach to this person. Victoria, do this. Victoria, no, he's not going to talk to you in that way alone. It's going to talk to you through his word. It's going to talk to you through music. You might just be thinking about something and an idea just pops into your mind. And when that idea is demand, like it's real pressing, you know that, okay, yes, God is speaking and all this stuff. So yeah, those are means. And thank you so much. I just don't want this video to be too long. I want you people to get the real message. But I hope we get to sit down some other time and talk more in depth.
Yes, I would love that, because I mean, I feel like it's quite important for me to share my testimony, because like also, as you said, it's like this generation in which I was born, there's just so many people that are like backsliding, and it's like sometimes I don't blame them, because there's so many distractions in our generation, so many distractions, and so if me sharing my testimony is going to win at least one soul for Christ, then I feel like I've done something, you know.
Thank you so much. Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much.
It's an honor to be here.
Thank you. I'm really blessed to have you.
I love you.
Bye. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Please don't forget to subscribe and like, share, notification bell, and all that.